debunk in your business in order for you to keep your business going and to get new business. So just a bit of an introduction, some of the buyer's beliefs. After all this time and all the media attention the real estate market gets, all the attention the real estate market gets, can you believe buyers still think that they need 20% down to buy a home, or that it's cheaper to rent than buy? Or how about buyers only cash outlay is the down payment, and that it's always a buyer's market in which buyers routinely get every single item on their completely unrealistic wish list for a way of under asking? Well, they do, and they do also believe these 10 other completely off the wall things too, just to keep their life interesting. It's time to break the truth to them. So here's the one that I started with. My family member has a real estate license. They will help me. Although you can't put it exactly this way, perhaps you can gracefully convey the information to your clients that the odds of their success vary in inverse proportion to how involved any family members are in the deal, let alone as an agent. The less family interference or the related realtor is involved, the higher likelihood of your transaction will be completed in a smooth fashion. For your own sake, however, it's worth noting that buyers are capable of letting local agents show them properties, then suddenly remembering their agent family member just as they get ready to write an offer. You need to devise a discreet ways to pry more information on that license holding relative out of them before you gas up the car. So it is very important to ask that question along with, do you have a buyer rep agreement? Do you use a family member for your real estate deals? That's probably the two questions that should be asked before you go there. Also too, there are clients or people that may have a family member have their license, but don't want that family member to know their business. So there are times too where a family member may not be involved in the deal because they just don't want family involved. So that helps you as well. So don't always assume that because they have a licensed family member that you're not going to be able to provide them the service. Debunk that right away. You'll get a better price if we use the listing agent for the property we buy. So again, this is this can be debunked very easily. The only time you should try not to laugh out loud when a buyer says this to you with a straight face is when you're the listing agent they're talking about. While all realtors must adhere to a standard of practice requiring fair and honest dealing with all parties to a transaction, agents should try to alert their buyers' clients to the fact that listing agents, by definition, represent the seller and do not have their best interests at heart. So that's something to convey to buyers. It doesn't always mean they're going to get the best deal either. There's a preferred opportunity to explain to your buyer clients that if they sign a BRA with your brokerage, you have a fiduciary duty to act in their best interest. As we all know, most listing agents do not handle multiple representations in a correct manner. Therefore, the buyer, 9 times out of 10, do not get the proper representation and their best interests go by the wayside. So these are little ways that you can debunk these things by speaking to the buyer clients and just notify them, look, you're not going to be represented properly. Yes, they may potentially get more money by using your deal, but they must also disclose many facets of the commission that is being reduced. That's another thing you can say, is that the other agent has to notify everybody. So then everybody is at the same playing field in the end. You're not necessarily going to get the best deal or the best service to that fact. We can find the perfect house if we look long enough. It doesn't matter how long buyers look, there is no such thing as a perfect house. The one your buyers want is the same one 100 other people are also waiting for. I've actually said that many times to clients. While they are writing offers and jockeying to land that perfect house, people with more brains and better credit are buying the other dozen homes that meet all your buyer's criteria except the color of the living room, which the successful buyer will paint themselves. If you don't debunk this myth quickly, you will be spending an inordinate amount of time on a file like this, and the stress that accompanies this type of buyer will be over the top. So yeah, it's very important to not put that expectation in your buyers' minds that they're going to find the perfect house. There's always a solution to everything. So again, painting, everything can be adjusted. If they want, if there's a big third bedroom for some reason, but your clients want 4 bedrooms, say, look, it's not hard to put up a partition or a wall and rejig this room and make it into 2. There's a solution for everything for a house. So always keep that in mind. The home values posted online are probably more accurate than what my local agent thinks. Because consumers don't get to see sold statistics on public sites, they try to guesstimate what the sold values are for the properties they are looking at online. Buyers do not realize how much time and effort go into trying to determine the value of a property they want to offer on. Try and convey to your buyer client in a diplomatic way the amount of time you spent doing a CMA when they ask you the question, how much do you think this house is worth? They will appreciate you and your services more. In the end, it's all about numbers, okay? So if you give them all the facts and all the numbers, it's going to be impossible for them to argue with you. They're hiring you for a reason because of your professionalism and your knowledge, okay? So reiterate that when you speak to them regarding that. It's smart to offer way under the asking price for a house we really want. Here's what actually happened to one buyer. Let's call him Bob, who submitted an egregiously low offer 2 days after one of our well-priced properties hit the market. The seller refused to consider the offer, instructed us to inform the buyer's agent of that fact, and directed that agent not to submit any further offers from that buyer. The property went into contract with a different buyer a few days later and closed slightly over asking soon after. Here's a fun fact. Bob thought a heartfelt letter describing how much he wanted the property would get the seller on his side. It didn't. Tell your buyers not to be like Bob. They should only make offers supported by the comps. Also, think about familiarizing them with the concept that money talks. Now, this is really important. If you have the buyer that is constantly lowballing, they're just going to annoy the seller and the other agent, and they're not going to want to work with you. It's very important that you, again, this lends to last week's topic. Try to be friends with the listing agent. This is one way to do that. Sellers have to fix anything that's wrong with the property or compensate the buyers for repairs. This happens all the time when inspection comes around and then people are doing amendments that they need to fix this or that, or they need the price lowered, to compensate for some of the issues with the house. Seriously, buyers actually believe this. Agents take note. They better not still believe this when it comes time to write an offer. This goes back to the first point of this topic. Please prepare your buyers for the mindset that they will not find the perfect property. If the listing agent has done their job properly, any major defects should have already been reflected in the list price. If the list price does not reflect deferred maintenance on the property, then advise your clients that any deferred maintenance will be negotiated in the final purchase price. Okay? If we have to bid full price to get the house, we can always negotiate the price down when the inspection report comes in. So that leads to my last comment. Sellers hate buyers with this attitude so much. Try to negotiate a price after a home inspection for minor issues, or getting the seller to do these minor repairs often lead to the transaction falling through. All of the hard work you did to put this deal together will be thrown down the drain if your buyer has this mindset. You need to debunk this mindset right from the beginning by educating the buyer that the perfect house is not out there unless they build it from scratch. Okay? We can worry about getting a loan once we found the perfect property. Oh my God, surely this, as their agent, you corrected this piece of misinformation before you got seriously involved with their house hunt. This is the biggest mistake that realtors make when they have buyer clients. Do not let any buyer client set foot in your vehicle unless they have been pre-approved for a mortgage. You must do your own due diligence on your client's financial covenant and make sure you have written proof of their financial capabilities. to purchase a property within their budget. There's a pandemic going on. How do people imagine they will even get in the door without producing a loan approval document and proof of funds these days? So important. It's even before the pandemic. So many agents would just be happy that someone called them that they want to look at houses. Make sure people are pre-qualified at all costs, especially nowadays. It's so hard, so much harder to get a loan right now. So please, please do your due diligence. All lenders are basically the same. They are not. But get your pre-screened lenders to explain to clients who believe this stuff. Please reach out to your in-house mortgage people. In this case, Joe DG Batista or Min Wong of Polo Loans for assistance on this issue. Joe and Ming work with over 30 different lenders, each of whom have over 6 to 8 different mortgage products. This gives your clients access to over 200 mortgage products when you work with Joe or Ming. So make sure you really have your clients talk to your lender. I know back in the day, I remember I did a Tom Ferry course, and the father, I forgot his name now.
Mike Ferry.
Mike Ferry, thank you. You know, his mandate was he would not show a client or bring on a client if they didn't go to his mortgage person for a pre-approval. He wouldn't even bother talking to them. So this is very important that you guys do this. Rates are terrific right now. So we are going to buy a car before the house closes. The big purchase before closing, the kiss of death. This is where you really need to have a heart-to-heart conversation with your buyer clients and provide them with proper guidance. Buyers are not intentionally being thick. They just don't understand financing or delayed gratification. Again, pass this ball to a trusted lender. There's only so much education you can do before clients start seeing you as the bad cop. And as long as you're filling up the lender's dance card, ask that your buyer clients be provided a home loan calculator, a forecast of how low mortgage rates will go, and information about using funds from the RSP accounts or the first-time home buyers program to buy a house. You may be laughing, but you're really thinking, my buyers are smarter than this. No, they aren't. Not when they first walk through the door. So be a good scout and be prepared. Listing agents everywhere will thank you. It's very important that major purchases do not happen before closing, because they could lose that mortgage because their ratios will now be out of whack. All right, any questions regarding any of those topics? Any feedback, any input, please? Let's have some more interaction.
Very good information, thank you.
Anybody have any personal experiences with some of those topics? Nope. Okay, we'll move on. Unfortunately, Joe will not be on today because he's feeling under the weather. So we're going to be skipping the mortgage side of things today. So it's going to be a short meeting. I'll go into a recommended book. So this is a really good book, a good way that you can make a lot of money in this business. So this book basically discloses problems that so many real estate agents face while they're sharing Brian Ernst, the author, the secrets to accelerate your success in real estate industry. In the sections of the book, you'll discover how to utilize the best tools for saving time and increasing profit, how to create exponential growth through effective lead generation, and how to identify the right market and the right clients. So the books of the month are all tools for you to succeed in this business and to take you to the next level. So this is a good book for you guys to look at. So a bit of today's takeaway: Agent Portal, training videos and manuals are in Wolf Connect. Reach out to the branch admins or myself if you have any questions. So before doing anything, if you're not sure about it, reach out to us and we can put you in the right direction. Open houses and caution in doing them. So again, based on that CTV News